Welcome back, everybody, to the Gen Extra Podcast. My name is Seamus McNasty. With me, as always, is Bacon. Tonight on the show, we are going to discuss one of Bacon and I's favorite Christmas movies, and that is A Christmas Story from 1983.
Love this movie.
Both love this movie. Both grew up on this movie. We're going to talk about this movie right after this.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Like I said, tonight we're going to discuss A Christmas Story from 1983. It's a great Christmas movie. I love this movie. You love this movie.
It's one of my favorites.
But as far as we know, we don't know what our guest feels about this movie, and that is Joe.
Do we really have to call him a guest?
Yes.
What's up,
Until
Joe?
we start getting
Hey, guys.
guests.
How are you guys doing?
Doing all right, man.
We all right.
You guys look nervous.
I'm fine. I'm cool.
I'm good, Joe.
Bacon's
All right.
sweating in his hat.
I'm always sweating. It's because I'm fat.
Is it the hat?
It's the hat.
Might be the drinking.
I'm only wearing the hat because I'm due for a haircut, and it's just crazy as balls under this.
Crazy as balls.
Crazy as balls.
Crazy as balls.
Okay.
Crazy as balls.
All right,
That's
I'll
my
let
new
you
saying.
have-
I'm going to say that from now on.
I'll let you
Crazy
have
and
that.
balls has been here.
I'll let you
Is
have
that,
it.
that our new mic check from now on?
Yep. Crazy as balls.
Crazy as balls.
Crazy as balls. James likes peas.
You know what Joe didn't like? This fucking movie.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Here we go.
Did
Well-
you at least go in? You didn't even go into it with an open mind. You got to go into it as if you were watching it as a child for the first time.
I went into this movie with the mindset of I have successfully gone 37 years without seeing this piece of shit, and now I just paid $4 to watch it.
That was your
The
choice.
library dropped the ball.
You want to continue?
Here we
You want to
Here's the
continue?
thing. Why does everybody make such a big deal out of this movie? Like, all right, I'll give it to you. It's not a terrible movie, but it's definitely not worth watching 24 hours a day.
Nostalgia.
I get it. And I mean, if there's any movie that should be shown 24 hours a day, logically, it should be Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, you know, because it's the
I
same
think they
movie
do show
over-
that 24 hours a day on
Groundhog's Day.
Do they? I don't
Probably.
have cable anymore, so I cut the cord. But anyway,
Oh, shit.
whatever. You know what? Nothing against people who like this movie because I get it. It's nostalgic. There's a lot of weird shit going on in this movie that doesn't make any sense at all.
Definitely.
Well, elaborate.
Elaborate. All right. Well,
I know there's pages upon pages on IMDb of discrepancies in this
Okay.
movie. But
Well,
if you were watching this as a kid,
You didn't notice it.
I didn't even know it until I started reading the IMDb shit.
all right. Well, as a 50-year-old registered Democrat, I do know that Brown versus the Board of Education didn't happen until 1954. So no offense, but what the fuck are those three black kids doing in that schoolroom? What the fuck does Wizard of Oz have to do with Christmas?
Well, so it was supposed to be because it was a hot movie at that time because the movie's supposed to be based like 1939, 1940. They're just suggesting that Wizard of Oz was still relevant.
Well, and
All right, I'll buy
Wizard
that.
of
All
Oz
right,
does air. The Wizard of Oz does air around this time every year.
Well, it used to. I don't know if it does
It
anymore.
still does.
I remember watching Wizard of Oz all the time when I was a kid.
It still
around
does.
this time.
Whether
yeah.
I
it's
thought
Thanksgiving
I
or
thought Wizard
Christmas.
of Oz always came around kind of like around Easter though.
Might be twice a year.
I don't know. I remember watching it like at least once a year on TV though.
What else you hate about this movie, Joe?
Yeah,
Ralphie's little brother.
Ian Petrella.
I
Hey.
fucking hated that kid.
Hey, he's not much better as an adult.
What is he at as an adult?
No, we met him as an adult, and he wasn't very nice.
You met that kid?
Oh yeah.
Did you sock him in the fucking eye?
No. We'll get into it later when we get a little further.
Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie.
So you just didn't like his whining ass or what?
He was a whining little shit.
I can't get up. I can't get up.
Well, he's a kid. I mean,
I
that's
like-
kind of understandable.
I liked Billy Madison's dad,
Darren McGavin?
and I liked Naked Lady from Slapshot.
Who was the naked lady from? Was that the mom?
Yeah, Peter Billingsley.
Melinda Dillon?
yeah,
I don't think
Yeah,
I ever
she-
saw Slapshot.
yeah.
She was naked in that movie.
She's naked in that movie. You would enjoy it because
When did Slapshot come out?
you in particular love nudity in movies. But
How am I turned out to be the perv in this show?
Got him.
Because-
You're gonna have to go back and
how
watch our
many?
previous
Wait a minute.
episodes.
All right. Wait a minute. Wait. We're like what 6 or 7 podcasts in.
At least
We're-
9.
we're
at
at
least
like
You
10
have
now.
at least twice complained that there was no nudity
Well,
in a
'cause
movie.
a big thing in the 80s movies was gratuitous nudity.
80s titties.
So when you don't see it, you're like, what the hell? Where's the gratuitous nudity? Right?
It's the wrong era to be acting like that, James.
Continue.
Peter Billingsley, super creepy.
The dirt bike kid.
No,
Why is he creepy?
Ralphie. He's just creepy.
Yeah, Ralphie. Yeah, he was in a movie called The Dirt Bike Kid.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't.
I never
follow-
saw it either.
Another crappy
Yeah,
80s
I
movie.
didn't follow his career like you fanboys did.
You're lucky you're in Florida, Joe.
Yeah. Sucker.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get what the allure to this movie is. I mean, it's a Christmas
great
movie,
Christmas movie.
you know, but it's so. I think I probably would have enjoyed the book more. Is it-
The
It was
novel?
based-
In God we trust, all others pay cash.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll read it. Maybe I will enjoy it better. But I can't now because I'll see all the characters
Right.
from the movie, and it'll piss me the fuck off. Especially the little kid, Randy. I hated that. Fucking hated that kid, man.
Show mommy how the piggies eat.
That scene where he's being a pig and eating his food like a pig off the plate went on way too long.
It was
Way
only
too
like
long.
a minute.
And Naked Lady from Slapshot was way too excited about it.
I don't know how to continue with this.
So, folks, if you haven't seen this movie, it's based in the 1940s. It's about a young boy named Ralphie who attempts to convince his parents and his teacher and Santa,
Everybody.
everybody, to get him a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas. Shenanigans ensue.
Nobody wants him to have this damn BB gun because he'll shoot his eye out.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Which was a running tagline pretty much through the whole movie.
Yeah, it made sense after so many years of hearing people say that.
Now you know where it came
Now
from.
I know why people were saying that, because I even on the commercials when they start to show it, you know, every day, all day long, all you hear is "You'll shoot your eye out, kid," and it's like, what are they talking about?
Well, now you know.
Now I know. Now I know, and he almost did, the little fucker.
He didn't have his glasses on.
You know, little idiot ricocheted off of a tree, popped himself right underneath the eyeball.
What about the scene where he finally got fed up with the bully and beat the bully's ass?
That was actually pretty sad. It was a pretty sad scene. Like, I get it, bullies.
I felt good about that scene.
Some bullies deserve what's coming to them. But man, that just turned into a hate crime.
He took everybody's hurt and frustration out on that child.
Yeah, and then
I mean, I don't feel sorry for the bully. He deserved it.
Scott Farkas.
and then everybody just kind of wandered away
Yeah.
quietly and sad.
Yeah. He was all right though.
You ever
He's all right.
was you ever dumb enough to stick your tongue to a flagpole there, Joe?
No, and if I was, the solution is a warm cup of water. Not calling the fire department to rip that kid's face off of that flagpole.
That was proven on Mythbusters that would actually happen.
What's
You
that?
did like a whole episode on
You
it.
could figure that out with Ice Cube.
Oh yeah, for sure. You don't need Mythbusters to know that a wet piece of meat will stick to a fucking cold
Sometimes if your
metal
tongue and
pole.
fingers stuck to an ice cube or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true
but
statement.
way to go, Mythbusters.
Huh?
Way to go, Mythbusters.
I was bashing Mythbusters.
How would we know what was real or not without those guys?
Disgruntled.
Disgruntled.
Disgruntled
old man.
It's all that beautiful weather down there that's got you all pissed off and disgruntled.
Yeah.
Bill.
He's like, oh God, it's starting to become 60. I can't take it anymore.
No, actually, it was in the 80s today.
Oh, Jesus.
Kind of warm.
So this movie was written by Gene Shepard and directed by Bob Clark, who were both in the movie. Do you know who they were in the movie there?
No.
So Bob Clark, the director, was the neighbor that shows up when the old man's out there on the street looking at the lamp. He's the neighbor that shows up and is like, what are you looking at there?
So who was doing the directing during that scene? Because you sure the fuck wasn't. Because that scene went on way too goddamn long as well. It's a fucking lamp. Move on. Hey, Billy Madison's dad. What's that in your window? That's my new lamp. Cool. Merry Christmas. I got shit to do.
It was the 40s. They didn't have shit to do.
That's why they were
They
walking
had
around the
less shit
neighborhood.
to do.
What are you talking about? They were preparing to fight the Nazis and the Japanese simultaneously.
It was a kids movie, man.
All right.
They didn't want to discuss that shit back then. Yeah, let's throw the world war into this fucking show and just depress the shit out of everybody.
You ever get a bar of soap put in your mouth for cussing, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
The way he does now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What kind of soap was it?
Was it good?
Fells Naphtha.
Did you get poisoned?
I did not. No, Fells Naphtha was all natural, I believe.
You didn't go blind?
Did not go blind.
No hairy palms?
That was for something else.
Well, the writer, Gene Shepard, he was actually the narrator of the movie too. The guy talking.
Yeah, I saw that.
Supposed to be Ralphie's old self.
The narration was the best part.
Didn't they get?
That was my favorite part. Was the narration. There was actually a little bit of life in that. I like
Didn't Wonder Years get that idea from?
I don't know if that.
They did the same thing in Wonder Years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's Ron Howard loves narration in his movies too. I mean, it's a
He
thing.
did the same thing in Stand By Me too.
Yep. Yeah. So, like I said, there's just an ass load of discrepancies in this movie with like stuff that they showed that were not even invented or didn't even come into existence until like 10, 20, 30 years later. Stuff like that.
Case in point, there's a 1980s math book sitting on the teacher's desk.
The Lone Ranger's nephew's horse, Victor. Remember, that was like a trivia question the old man was trying to figure out.
Yeah.
He wasn't even introduced until 43.
Oh well, there you go.
So
this movie was based in 1940, right?
Yeah, 39, 40. They were suggesting, yeah. Colored bowling balls didn't exist then.
Oh no shit.
Bowling balls didn't have pre-drilled holes in them either. You had to get them drilled. And when he got it, he stuck his fingers in the holes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's still a thing today. Like if you go and get a real bowling ball, they have to drill it to your specification.
Yeah.
Not that shit that you get at the bowling alley.
Oh, yeah.
That's been finger blasted by every red 1,000-mile radius.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna beep that.
I asked my mom one time, I know that you guys just made a comment about my swearing, and I asked my mom a long time ago, when I was a little kid. I said, why do you and Dad, why do you guys swear? Like, why do you use bad words? And my mom's like, well, trying to teach a young Joey Forearms not to swear. My mother said, well, because your father and I can't think of anything more intelligent to say. And as I got older, I was like, yeah, fuck that. I have a great vocabulary, not to brag, but I know words. And I'm really good at cursing, and I enjoy it. So
I can dig it.
my mom's full of shit.
Jeez.
Damn.
Well, I should say she was.
Man, that's just blasphemy.
Oh, it's getting dark.
It's getting dark.
It's getting
It's gonna
dark.
be a lighthearted Christmas kids movie, and
Well, I mean, that's what happens when we bring in Joey and he don't like the movie. He's going to tell you he doesn't like the movie.
from now on, I'm just gonna ask you, what movie do you like, and we'll just go that way.
Well, I liked last week's movie. I love Christmas Vacation. We had as lighthearted as a conversation as we're gonna have about a Christmas movie last week.
He can't like them all, man.
I guess.
We can't always all agree on the same thing.
Okay.
You
I like Home Alone. Dude, I talk shit about the movies I love.
All right.
You know that. You've known that for years. I love Starship Troopers. I cannot stop talking shit about that movie. Doogie Howser, military genius. Don't think so.
So, like I said earlier, I met Ian Petrella as an adult. So
Brag.
the house was supposed to be in what is it? Hammond, Indiana. But they actually shot it in Cleveland, Ohio. So the house that they shot at is actually there. You can actually go to it.
Oh yeah, somebody I know went there.
Yeah, we've gone a couple times with the kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, this entrepreneur out of San Francisco bought it in 2004 off eBay for 150 grand.
Jeez.
And then continued to turn it into a tourist attraction. He also purchased the two houses across the street and turned one into a museum and the other into a gift shop. So you can go visit the house, go to a museum that has everything, like all the props and stuff. There's where you're going to steal your fucking props. Go to there and you steal your prop, whatever you want from that movie, which I probably nothing because you hate it so much. Or you can buy a gift out of the gift shop. But we were there, and for some reason he had like partnered with the people that bought this house and was like making appearances.
It's probably the only way he could get some money.
Yeah, I think he's an animator now, actually. But he was like making appearances. Huh?
Who was making appearances?
Randy,
Little brother.
as an adult though. Yeah. So he'd make appearances and like sign shit and whatnot. But the day we were there, we caught him, like, because you can walk around the house, walk inside the house, walk around the back and stuff like that. He was sneaking out the back door of this place trying to leave. So we were like, hey, can we have you get a picture with the kids? And he's like, no, I gotta go. So I'm like, okay, dick. But yeah.
Never meet your idol.
Yeah, don't meet your heroes, man. They're the worst.
But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, you can go, like, if you enjoy the movie, you can go visit the house and like take pictures with the lamp and shit like that and do all this.
Yeah, but at
stuff.
the end of the day, you're in Cleveland.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Cleveland rocks, man.
Look, we're in Cleveland.
sure it does.
Cleveland rocks. Ain't that what's his name said?
Yeah.
The host of
Topher Grace?
no, the host of
Oh,
Drew Carey.
Drew Carey.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
Cleveland
Drew Carey
rocks.
show?
Yeah. The host.
But hey, man, he had a pool table in his backyard. So, yeah,
Ooh,
Drew Carey.
I never watched that show.
Yeah,
It
what?
was all right.
The pool table?
Oh, did he? Never watched it.
That's some white people shit.
It was kind of like that show was kind of like
white people shit.
Whose Line Is It Anyway? Fucked Roseanne.
Damn.
So you know the scene in the movie where the old man wins the gift and they're coming to wheel the gift, the box, the big crate into the house.
Yeah, the one that says this side up that they lay on its side.
It actually says his side up.
His end up. So
well, yeah, but the T is around the corner.
No.
Because I thought that at first, but the T was around the corner.
Wrong.
This is the story that I heard from a guy that was in the movie when we were visiting.
Okay.
So they tried to bring the thing in the first scene when they were doing it, and it wouldn't fit through the door. So they had to take it back out, cut it. So that's why the F from the fragile is gone, and the T from this end up is gone. So it just says his end up. So that's why that box looks like that. You couldn't get it in the door, so I had to fucking cut it up.
I could have swore I saw a T around the corner on that box.
We just watched it. I don't remember seeing a T.
I didn't look for it, so I couldn't tell you.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to go back and watch it again to find out.
We know this.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
But the guy that had the crate on the dolly, not the guy that showed up originally, but the guy that was the muscle bringing the shit in, he lived in the neighborhood when they were filming it and was just hired as an extra to do that. Last time we were there, he still lived in the neighborhood in the same house and was working at the museum. So, I mean, he's the one who would tell all the stories and shit. So that's kind of cool.
Back in my day when we shot the movie.
Oh, yeah, it was one of those. He became the docent of the Christmas Story Museum.
Yeah.
That's going to go on his gravestone.
I've got a pair of Peter Billingsley's glasses in a box in my room.
Somehow that makes it so much creepy.
Is it a fetus? So, was there any part of the movie that you liked other than the narrator?
I like Billy Madison's dad.
I bet you what you
Darren
didn't.
McGavin.
I liked how fucked up Santa and his helpers were.
Shooter McGavin.
I don't know why, but that made me happy. When Santa booted that kid down the slide.
The little kid with the glasses, the weird kid, said he liked the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
He liked the Tin Man. I was played by what's his name? Chris Elliott.
I was really young, Chris Elliott.
Really young Chris Elliott.
Got him.
I like.
I was gonna leave Chris Elliott out of this because I have way too much respect for the man.
Oh jeez. I like the Tin Man. That was Chris Elliott.
That kid. All right, I like that kid. He had one line, but I was like, all right, finally some weirdness that I can get with him. Like some uncomfortable fucking Ben Stiller type shit in this movie.
Yeah, that's great, kid. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
The guy, I don't want to say the same scene, but the guy when they try to get in line and they stop there and there's an old guy.
Yeah.
And the old guy's like, what are you guys doing? The line starts back there. That's Gene Shepard. That's the narrator.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. And the writer of the movie, writer of the book. That's him. He was actually a radio personality way back in the day.
You think he did the Little Orphan Annie thing?
I don't know.
Don't forget to drink.
Was this kind of like an autobiographical thing for him? Do you know anything
I think some stuff he pulled from his childhood. Yeah, I think.
Don't forget to drink your Ovaltine, Joe.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. They telegraphed the shit out of that one, didn't they? As soon as that kid got his decoder ring, I was like, oh, and he said, I drank about 12 gallons of Ovaltine to get this piece of shit. And I was like, yup, the first code that he breaks is going to be drink Ovaltine.
It's a crummy commercial? Son of a bitch.
But you know what? All right, so that's probably my favorite part of the movie because that is the most realistic part of that movie because that happens all the goddamn time. Did you guys ever order shit from the back of a comic book, like the X-ray glasses,
Yep.
or the
Sea
spy
monkeys.
glasses, or the fucking decoder pen, or any of that shit? None of that shit worked. It was all garbage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what did you do? You had to spend like $7 and send in like 20 proofs of purchase, which used to be a thing on the actual product. Not
It
the
took you like a year and a half, 2 years to get everything all
Exactly,
together.
Yeah, and half the time you send that shit in, and the people that work there are like, "Oh my god, really? Like, somebody actually did this?"
Shit, we're gonna have to dig one up.
You know who did that shit all the time?
Chris
My,
Elliott.
my grandmother.
Who?
No, my grandmother. My grandmother. So I used to hang out with my grandmother because I delivered papers in her building. So I would stop by my grandmother's house. I'd have my grape Faygo and my peanut butter Twix. Good Lord, it was the most disgusting combination, but I didn't want to hurt her feelings. And my grandmother would be like, "Oh, look at this." And she would, here's some shit that I bought out of the back of a Reader's Digest. I thought you might like it. Like, "Oh yeah, thanks, Grandma. This is awesome."
Something straight out of Finger Hut.
Yeah,
You have a whole house full of those ceramic plates.
I tell you what, I wish as a grown up, I wish that I had saved all that just for sentimental reasons, but I went home and I was like, clink.
The dishes are done, man.
So I read somewhere that Peter Billingsley actually still has the I don't know for what reason, the pink bunny outfit and the BB gun.
Yeah.
I would rock the shit out of that pink bunny outfit.
doesn't he?
And the BB gun.
And the BB
Yeah.
gun.
So my son, 13-year-old, and he's 13 years old and he's at least 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
He's almost as big as me.
Red Ryder BB gun.
Yeah. But yeah, I think my wife
Out, kid.
I think my wife maybe a year or two ago bought him those pink bunny flipping pajamas.
He looks like a deranged Easter bunny.
Yeah.
I would rock the fuck out of those. You kidding me? Those look comfortable as shit. The problem is it doesn't get cold enough for that shit down here.
Yeah.
Look like a pink nightmare.
Yeah. Scott Schwartz, the kid that played Flick, he was also in the movie The Toy with Richard Pryor. Remember that movie?
Oh, that was him.
That was him, yeah.
That was him.
Yeah,
Did you see that movie, Joe?
Unfortunately, yes, I did see
You
that.
see that racist ass movie, Joe?
You know what?
Well,
That's
different
a-
times back then.
Let me tell you, that's a whole other podcast.
That is. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It is.
We could fucking destroy that movie at a different
But I love that movie coming up though.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, it was a great movie as a kid, but now that you're older and you know what's going on, you're like, holy fuck.
That movie,
Yeah.
boy.
But yeah, Scott Schwartz, the kid that was in the Toy, and the kid that plays Flick in Christmas Story, later went on to star in several porn films.
Only you would know that.
I don't know how I came across it.
Yeah,
I came across it years ago, but I couldn't remember.
But when you came across it, it looked like the islands of Hawaii did it. You chose your words very unwisely there. I don't know how I came across this porn film, but I certainly did. Twice, actually.
All right, Joe.
Fucking censorship.
So, I mean, the only last thing I have trivia about this,
You know who else was a porn star?
Chris Elliott.
Yes. And have you guys ever seen Jesus Christ Superstar?
Jesus Christ. No.
No.
One of the guys from that
Oh.
went
I don't even
on.
know that.
That was his first. I think that was his first movie. He went on to do porn
He's into that
after
weird shit.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh, he's into that weird shit. They had me watch that Angry Inch bullshit.
Oh, Joe.
Hagrid and the Angry Inch, or Harry?
Joe. Several months ago, I introduced our friend Bacon here to Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
It's Hedwig, but okay.
Whatever.
Hey, that is in my top 5 all-time favorite movies.
He was disturbed. He was disturbed about it.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I remember the first time I saw that movie. Do you remember Pam?
Maybe.
Pam was the woman whose house I moved out of to move into our apartment, and you talked me out of shitting on her kitchen floor.
I think I vaguely remember this, yes.
And she brought that movie over one time, and I loved it immediately. And she was like, I can't believe I'm watching this movie. Kim hates it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kim,
you introduced me to this movie.
She's like, what is it with you in this movie?
Now it all makes sense.
I don't know what it is.
Coming full circle, folks.
It's the music is so original.
Yeah.
The story is original. Everybody's doing about as good of an acting job as musicians can do, because they're musicians, you know what I mean? It's perfect. To me, that's a perfect movie, you know?
Way off topic here, folks.
Way off topic. Yeah.
What else is new?
Let's veer back. Let's veer back.
Or we could just start talking about that movie and say, fuck A Christmas Story.
Damn.
All right, let's rate it.
Well, there was something in the final scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Apparently in the final scene, the actors weren't told that the waiters in the Chinese restaurant were going to sing. So all the reactions when they were singing the fa ra 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 was actually genuine, because they didn't know they were going to do that. That's probably one of the racist things in the whole movie.
That was some racist ass shit right there.
I'm just saying. Back then,
sure. Even
in stuff flew back then.
Even in 1983, think about how Asian people were portrayed back in the 80s.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's talk about 16 Candles.
Hey, sexy girlfriend. I love Long Duck Dong, man.
My automobile.
Long Duck Dong.
Gung Ho.
Yeah.
Do you know that Ken Watanabe is in Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
I know the movie. I don't remember his scene.
He's at the hotel. He's behind the desk with Mila Kunis. He doesn't say a word. I think it's him. I could be wrong. I've been wrong a lot.
Wrong.
You're gonna get a Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a Charlie Murphy on this one.
Say wrong stuff, you can get Charlie Murphy.
Okay, it's a hell of a judge.
All right, Christmas Story. Let's rate it.
5 strips of bacon right out the gate. 5 strips of bacon. I love this movie. One of my childhood favorites. There's nothing Joe can say about this movie that's going to bring me down. He can hate it all he wants. I'll always love this movie. This would be one of my top favorite Christmas movies.
Good. I give this movie 4 Lucky Charm 4-leaf clovers. I like this movie. I grew up liking this movie. Joe will not skew my love for this movie, no matter how many fucks he says, or this movie can eat a bucket of dicks. I still like it. I'm sticking with it.
Joe, rate this movie for us, Joe.
All right. I'm going to give this movie 1 Bob Woganowski with hives all over his face.
Chris Elliott. It's Chris Elliott when he breaks out in hives. That's easy enough.
Yep, one broken out woogie.
One broken out Woogie. That's fine.
Oh, I'm giving it one broken out Woogie. Because, yeah. You're lucky you're getting one out of me, to be totally honest with you.
Well, you know what? Give me 0 so I don't have to make any damn graphics for you.
No.
Woohoo,
No.
fuck you and your graphics, Joe.
Graphics.
Graphics.
It's all right. No, that's your punishment for making me watch this film.
All right, so we need to discuss what we're going to talk about on the next podcast.
Is it going to be a Christmas movie?
Still Christmas movies. I think we're going to pick Scrooge. Bill Murray.
Yay.
I think Joe will like this movie.
If I remember correctly, I kind of do like this movie.
It's a
I
Christmas
haven't
Carol.
seen it since then, but
That's terrible.
I've got whatever. I've got it. It's sitting on my DVD player. It's waiting to be watched. I got to make sure that my daughter's not around because it's not safe for 10-year-old eyes.
It's not too bad.
I don't know, man. I looked at the IMDb rating and most of it was like moderate, like nudity, language.
There's no
Well, not that she doesn't hear some of the shit that we talk about, but
All right.
I don't need her listening to Bill Murray say it.
Anyway, folks, next episode we'll be covering Scrooge. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell.
Bing, 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 bing.
Bling bling.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you on the next Gen Extra podcast.
Next time on the next podcast
In the near future.
on the Gen Extra.
Peace.